Good day, folks. This is Bob here on Saturday. Got two people who've contributed to this particular episode. One is an old scenario. I think Justice of the High Court. He gives me a thumbs up and suggests I'm doing pretty well. This hobby is pretty good. The other, and he also suggests how to structure my conversation. He said break it up in parts, and that way it's going to get a lot better. So I have broken it up into parts. Let's say first has to do with China, second has to do with our periphery. Then you come to Israel, Russia, and finally you have to talk about the Indian elections because they are being spoken about on all international forums, and basically a surprise is on the way, and I think it needs to be spoken about. So first let's talk about China. China thinks this is a great time to kind of play on the nervousness of the European countries and try and open the door a bit so that China's in problems, whether inside in their economy. They need foreign equity, they need foreign money, they need foreign technology, they need foreign markets. Markets they still have. So what do we have here? Pranab Dhal Sandas, Xi Jinping among pigeons. Pigeons are the French, right? Fissures have appeared in the coalition of democracies to counter China. On a broader plane, however, what's clear is that what was seen as a big democracy partnership to counter China is on somewhat shaky footing now, largely due to insecurities caused from actions among and within democracies. The worry is that having waited it out on the margins and absorbed considerable pressure, China has now shifted gear to move in on democracies in doubt, if not in turmoil. They're only talking about one particular democracy, that's the United States. They don't know which way it's going to go, Trump or Biden. They're getting ready for Trump, right? Macron, they're basically covering their bets. Macron and the specter of an Atam Nirbhar Europe, it's never going to happen. Europe can never become Atam Nirbhar. France definitely can't, and India also cannot. Without the United States and the Five Eyes countries, none of this is possible, right? Finally, in all areas like technology, innovation, and critical minerals, India must offer itself as a serious partner to France and the US so that our own strategic autonomy is enhanced. We don't have strategic economy, and it is never going to get enhanced till we increase our per capita income, okay? And we improve our democratic values. However, it remains to be seen how the EU eventually deals with China. The German Chancellor's recent visit to Beijing and Chinese President Xi Jinping's impending visit to Paris, which has happened, may offer clues about the EU-China policy, which does not necessarily mirror that of its transatlantic partner. This too should matter to India. Of course it does. Playing the field, as Raja Mohan writes, Xi Jinping's swing through Europe highlight China's play to exploit the differences the continent has within and with the US. He says, irrespective of its eventual choice, Europe's response to its geopolitical trilemma will have major consequences for India's relationship with the US, Russia and China. Europe sees Russia as the principal threat and China is an opportunity and is under pressure from the US to share a greater part of the defense budget in Europe against Russia and contribute to Asian security by boosting the US balancing effort against China. For Delhi, Beijing is the principal challenge and Moscow is part of the answer. Unfortunately, Moscow is not part of the answer. That's why we are losing the plot, right? US eyes curbs on China access to AI, software behind apps like ChatGPT. Biden said to slap tariffs on China EVs, key sectors. Let me just say this. As US has this very targeted sanctions against China, just like Europe cannot do without it. It can do without China, but definitely can't do without the United States. EU matters, so does its partnership with India. Mutual respect and management of our differences, renewed trust in each other, and mutual commitment to our shared values and principles will be the best guide for this relationship. Unfortunately, there are no shared values and principles at this stage, where India is wobbling, if not quaking, in this election with a right-wing religious agenda. China warships docked in Cambodia 5 months ago. Government says not permanent. But what's permanent then? I want to understand the definition. And because of that, naming is critical. When China goes out to name, it's building a case for the future, right? So what's in China's renames? By Saturu Bhattacharya. S. Jaishankar says China calling Arunachal Pradesh South Tibet has no consequences and that the state was in and will remain part of India. If I change the name of your house, will it become mine? He had quipped last month. No, but he will have grounds to sue me later. You know, that's how it's done, right? Wouldn't it be bizarre if India tries to rename places in China in, say, Hindi? And why don't we, right? Let's try. But the issue is historical notions of boundary, authority, or ownership, whether made up in hindsight or not, do not necessarily correspond with the contemporary concept of sovereignty. He says China will likely use its global clout in the future to ensure that international arbitration benefits it to avoid a repeat of 2016, which was in the Philippines, except that sovereignty is any country's co-interest, not just China. Philippines top security official suggests expelling China diplomats in lead call. China military says it drove away US destroyer in South China Sea. Philippines call for expelling Chinese diplomats. And on our border talks with China are progressing well, says Rajnath, means there is no going forward. There's no the same spot. Status quo ante has not been achieved. That was our original goal. BRO set to complete 2 roads near China border, begin tunnel work. Hallelujah. Then comes our neighborhood. EM close ties with neighbors of great value. They are, but they are no longer close ties. Whether it's Sri Lanka, whether it's Maldives, the last soldiers left. Maldives and India look to move forward, give direction to ties. But the foreign minister came here, the last soldiers left. What next? India woos Bangladesh on Tista amid China push. I think Bangladesh is a problem for us. Nepal, look at Nepal. Nepal says it wants to resolve boundary issue with India. It says to us, do we even know there's a boundary issue? We don't, of course we don't. Right? But they've got this Kala Pani or whatever this in their note, and now we are saying name doesn't matter. What's happening now in the Middle East? The other sweet spot. They say Israel has lost the plot on Gaza. I also say that. The war is no more about Tel Aviv's right to self-defense, but increasingly driven by domestic political compulsions. And let's just bell the cat. Netanyahu, he's doing it's his war, right? Israel, Saudi Arabia, and churn in the Middle East, the view from India. There really isn't a view. We don't know really what to do, right? The warning has not had an impact on Netanyahu. Halting the war is key to Biden's re-election campaign. American university campuses are in turmoil, and polls suggest that young Democratic voters are upset with the US support for the war. They should be. And the US has to do a lot more. I think this is a grave error that was made by Biden, right? And Trump probably would not have. US won't supply weapons to hit Rafah, Biden warns Israel. US bomb shipment to Israel over Rafah plans. And then you have Netanyahu says Israel will fight with their fingernails if they must. Can you imagine how many young ones we are shipping to Israel for their work because their guys are fighting the war, and eventually then they won't have an army, just like Russia, right? And then what did the Russians say, right? Russia is basically, my worry is Russian president says nuclear force always on alert in defiant victory speech. Now, every time he's running into trouble, he throws out this nuclear lobby, right? Bomb, right? Which means he's in trouble, really. Russia launches surprise ground offensive into Ukraine's northeast. Well, they should remember World War II, what they did to the Germans. Ukraine is doing something to them. Similarly, as soon as summer comes, all the equipment and targeted high-end weaponry will be with Ukraine, then toast. What's happening in India, right? What suggests to me? Global News, PBS, the news paper in Australia, which says that the Prime Minister has links with a mass rapist. These are the word he uses. PBS, and now the Democratic channel in the channel for democracy in the United States, which is also publicly funded. All but everybody saying that it is not the tsunami that is blowing. Probably you may not have, you know who back, right? And the quake in India hitting them fast and furious. You can see that in the decline in the narrative and the speeches going from Mangal Sutra to using demeaning language against Sonia Gandhi, to talking about कि एक घर ले लेंगे, एक 2 कमरे ले लेंगे, एक bicycle अगर आपके पास 2 ले लेंगे, एक भैंस ले लेंगे, and it just goes on, and it's back to Pakistan. They have a bomb, and this a year, Manishankar Iyer said that in 2000, I think after the 2019 sometime. It's been 5 years, man. And this was the big thing that came yesterday. 21 days will not make any difference. SC grants CM interim bail till June 1st. He can campaign. Delhi, 7 seats. Haryana, big trouble. Himachal, big trouble. Punjab, big trouble. Better watch this, right? Then you have this. Storm of India block in arriving. Rahul Akhilesh at joint UP rally. This is the biggest change that's going to happen. UP is supposed to deliver them the number of seats. Unfortunately, now it looks that UP will stop their UP and Bihar will stop their wrath. He didn't expect a one-on-one fight, but that's exactly what's happened. Now, if you tally and total Adivasis, and if you total Dalits and we total Muslims, and you see if they're not split, big trouble, folks, big trouble. Kharge could create anarchic situation, EC. Congress hits back. Nothing can create more anarchic situation than what the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, and the BJP President keep talking about. Nothing. One Air Force personnel killed, 4 injured as convoy attacked by terrorists in Poonch. This was going to happen, folks. But it did not create any major Rashtriyavad Mudda in India. And we were back to a demeaning statement saying that if the BJP NDA does not get 400 seats, then the new Ram temple will be locked again. Grow up. Modi targets Congress in Ambani-Adani twist. Did Ambani-Adani buy Rahul's silence? Modi PM afraid, says Congress. Send CBI ED to probe them, says Rahul to Modi. So here's the deal. It came as a shock to NDT, owned by Adani, to all the channels owned by Reliance. When suddenly it came out, he went and said in Telangana, Adani and Ambani, and this 2-minute clip he put on his page. So it's not even false. Where he says that they're giving truckload, they've first he called them thieves, chori kiya hua paisa. Then he says black dhan, that means that of your demonetization didn't work. And then he said that it is carried in lorries and in boris. How does he know all that? How does he know all that, folks? Congress, and then Haryana in trouble. Congress meets governor, pushes for dismissal of BJP government. Chautala will back Congress if it wants to topple Saini. And like I said, West Bengal all but gone. Wasn't raped, Sandesh Kali survivor says in video. Okay? Then you have sufficient material to charge BBSS, says court. So now Brij Bhushan Sharma, FIR has been filed against him, I think, by the UP police, which is under Yogi. A ticket was given to his son by Modi and Shah. So the war is up and out in the open and UP. Right? Modi, Ram is the idea of India. Congress can't see as it uses foreign lenses. Hindu, so like I said, every Hindu thing and Muslim. Hindu population share dipped 7.82%, while that of Christians, Muslims, Sikhs rose. Unfortunate. Vote for us, BJP will revoke Congress's unconstitutional Muslim quota, says Shah. There is no quota, folks. When will we give up on lies? I don't understand, right? When will we give up on lies? When will we give up on lies, right? Then you have not even your grandmother can repeal CAA, Shah to Ram. Is this a thing? So who's that? Dadi is no longer there, right? Died, sacrificed. Nani is Italian in Italian. What? Does he even know what he's saying? Foreigners having an evil eye on India's territorial integrity, a big red line says envoy. This is the envoy to Canada. So is she suggesting that Canada is going to help the Khalistani hood there to change the integrity of a border? Is she for real? BJP slams Petroda, Congress distances itself from skin color. But that's the truth. North Indians, by and large, have always looked down on people with darker skin. Why did you have Fair and Lovely? Who all advertised for Fair and Lovely, including Shah Rukh Khan? Why do you have Fair and Lovely, right? You tell me. You look into your heart. Repoll at Gujarat booth after live bogus voting. This is what's happening. This guy who's the son of a member of parliament of Gujarat, outgoing member of parliament, is actually seen entering the booth, picking up the EVM and singing and dancing with it. Thank God it's been that thing. RBI looks at ARC amid a flood of allegations. So this is an important point. ARC was used to clean up banks, and apparently there's a huge amount of fraud in that. And RBI has finally woken up. And as it has woken up to loans to infrastructure. So both of these are pointing fingers at this current government. And these are the two main implementation of their Viksit Bharat. Australia, farmers likely to grow more chana for Indian canola, and it's getting expensive. Indian industrial output grows 5.8% in FY24, slows a tad in March. I think it's slowing more than a tad, folks. It's slowing more than a tad. And here's what, right? This is what I say. We don't know even our finance minister has no clue about unemployment. She says, Sitaraman says there is no data on unemployment. It's all anecdotal. She says this when questioned by ANI in Jharkhand. If we don't have that figure, aren't we in a very sad state of affairs? Pak hoping for Rahul to become India's PM, says Modi. So as soon as you start losing, Pakistan comes on. Why not China? Congress talking of Pakistan's atom bomb to scare India, says Shah. This was by Mani Shankaraya. When? For phones, India think China again. So why not China? Major threat. Foreign powers are trying to influence our polls, says Modi. We stand. So which foreign power? China, Russia, USA? You tell me. We stand by allegations on Niger killing Canada. India wants separatists. US meddling in India's affairs. Russia on Pannu. This is called interference. India heads out at Canada for Khalistan float in parade. Niger probe is not limited to 3 arrests, reiterates Trudeau. US satisfied with accountability sought from India in Pannu cases, Gassetti. Upswing in ties not impacted by Pannu issue, says Jaishankar. That's anything but the truth. Okay, folks, though it's affected big time. White House defends Biden calling India, China, Russia, and Japan xenophobic nation. Well, they're talking about authoritarian. Gaffer or channeling inner joke. Biden meets them halfway by criticizing Modi's policies every now and then. I think it's more than that. India not xenophobic, but one of the most welcoming nations. Not anymore. It was. But the foreigners are beginning to change their mind. After 18 months gap, Chinese envoy in Delhi ready to work and turn the page. They know maybe that if the Congress comes to power, Congress is very hard on China, and they have not forgotten 62. Not like this particular government that only thinks about business. Sunak's party suffers heavy loss in UK local election. There goes another pillar for the current government. The West's time in the sun is over. This is India's moment. It should take advantage of what both China and US can offer. China can offer very little and is not. West's time, let me tell you, is not over. Now, let me tell you, the other guy who helped me was Krishnan Subramaniam. He actually was an unbhakt, as he says, till 1st of March. Ever since then, when the electoral bond issue came out, he started connecting the dots, drugs and mudra, and then now he's just definitely done a 180 degree. And he uses a whole bunch of AI server space to create algorithms, which then create predictive models. And right now, his predictive model, what it suggests with some of intelligence input from me also, basically he comes up with what the figures are after all the 3 phases have happened, plus all the news items, whether it is what happened in Karnataka, whether what's happened in Bangladesh, in West Bengal. So what is it we say in terms of figures? Okay. First figure I'm going to say is India Alliance. Second figure I'm going to say is BJP Plus, and the third figure is others. This is what this model is predicting. Telangana 10-3-4, Maharashtra 30-18, Chhattisgarh 6-5, Rajasthan 12-13, MP 13-16, Jharkhand 8-5-1, Assam is 8-4-2, Punjab 11-1-1, Haryana 5-4-1, Uttarakhand 3-2, Odisha 5-5-11, Andhra Pradesh 8-5-12, Karnataka 18-10, West Bengal 12-8-22, Bihar 22-18, Himachal 3-1, Goa 1-0, Meghalaya 2-0, Tripura 0-2, Manipur 2-0, Nagaland 0-0-1, Sikkim 0-0-1, Mizo 0-0-1, Gujarat 6-20, UP 35-45, Tamil Nadu 35-4, Kerala 16-4, Arunachal 0-2, Delhi 5-2, JK 3-2, Daman 0-1, Dada Nagari 0-1, Ladakh 0-1, Puducherry 0-1, Chandigarh 1-0, Lakshadweep 1-0, Andaman 0-1. 275, folks, for the India Alliance, 206 facts for BJP Plus, 61 for others, which includes a huge component of TMC, which is India Alliance. So hallelujah, folks. Is it good or bad for the world? Let me just say this. It probably, as far as the United States is concerned and basic investment, FDI is concerned, it's very good for it, even good for that, and for Europe, because what it does is it will create a level playing field. And India has so many corporates, manufacturing corporates and drugs, and I mean in cement space and medicine space have left India for a particular reason, is ensure that there are no monopolies created in airports and ports. That's why, folks, and it will continue to be stronger against China. 3 cheers, and Jai Hind. Keep watching this elections unfold. It is nothing like you've seen before, folks. Nothing like you've seen before. 3 cheers.